Hello YouTube, it's 2:30 in the morning, Friday morning. I'm not remembering dates again. August 12th or 13th, I guess. Oh, I'm sitting in front of Jack in the Box. Check this line out. There's a line. Hang on, turn around. There's a line around the building. I waited through that line, here at Jack in the Box. This is the one at Camelback at 27th Avenue. I waited in that line. Finally got the thing. I got the window. He's like, "Hey, can you please hang on?" I'm like, "No problem." Waited like 2, maybe 3 minutes there. Get up to the window. I finally get up the window. Getting a $6 Munchie Meal. So, you know, like $6 and change with the tax. There's $7. I got $7. And I get there and he's like, "Oh, I can't give you an order because the system is down." I'm like, "How about I give you $7 and you give me my food?" "But in the system," I thought, just take the money and give me my food. It's not that hard. You know, just write on a piece of paper what my order was, and when your system comes back up, put it in the register. It's not that hard. I'm just like, really. You know, I used to manage, I gotta find someplace to eat. I'm hungry, I'm cranky. I don't understand why it's such a difficult thing. So I used to, many years ago, I actually managed 2 different Subway locations, not at the same time, but I managed the Subway. This was after I came out of a mental hospital and was having some pretty heavy issues, but I was kind of medicated. I had kind of dropped my dosage from what they were saying to do just so I could think clearly enough to be constructive. And I'm so hungry, I feel nauseous. Fucking assholes. And I wasn't hired as a manager. I was just hired to make sandwiches. And I was fine to I just wanted a job. Back then I just didn't even care. I just wanted something I could do where I could get some money to get back on my feet, because the mental breakdown that put me in the hospital in 1995 caused me to literally lose everything. I lost my cab company. I lost almost everything I owned that was in my apartment. I lost my apartment. I was locked up in a mental hospital for an extreme amount of time. I missed my chance to see, I think I had tickets to see Blind Melon. I missed my chance to see Blind Melon because he died shortly after Shannon Hoon did, the lead singer. And I just, living at my mom's place, I just was, thank God I had that, or I'd have been just straight up homeless. Yeah, really frustrated. You know, I'm 25 years old, and I had everything that I'd been working for since I was 21. Well, more like 22. I had lost everything. Back at square, homeless and broke. At my mom's. And not thinking very clearly because of all the damn medication they got me on. I managed to get a job at Subway, and the manager disappeared like the next day. My understanding, he stole a bunch of money. Like, he just disappeared with like weeks worth of money or something, and which is pretty crazy. And I pretty much became the de facto store manager because I was, I believe, the oldest person there. Like, almost everybody that worked there was like a teenager. There was another guy that worked the day shift that was around my age. In fact, he might have been maybe a year older than me, but he was not interested in anything about management. He just wanted to do the opening shift, and as soon as the teenagers show up, get the hell out. No more responsibility. I can't say I blame him. And I was doing everything. Like, I started doing the scheduling and doing the. I was basically, I was still an hourly employee, but I was doing all the management stuff. I was doing all the inventory and doing all the ordering and handling all of that, doing the scheduling, and there was somebody at another store that was officially our manager, but she kind of showed me what to do, and there came a point where she eventually just, told the corporate higher ups that, Dan's running that store. You may as well make him a manager. Well, he didn't apply to be a manager. Yeah, but he's doing the job. Do you think he should get paid for it? Anyway, it wasn't too long after I'd been promoted to manager that there was a really big power outage. Big power outage. Sometime in '95, and maybe some other Phoenix people remember it. Maybe some other Las Vegas people remember it. But it was a huge, huge power outage that took out most of the state of Arizona and I believe a big portion of Nevada as well. And there was hardly anybody in the city that had power. And beauty of Subway is you don't really cook anything. You just put cold cuts on bread, condiments. And it hit like during the beginning of our dinner rush. And I could go on the story. It's kind of a long story, but long story short, I didn't send all my customers away. I didn't tell them, "Oh, my system's down, I can't give you your food. I don't know how to count change." There were occasions when that happened, and we were prepared for it with basically just a little notepad and a pen and a calculator. There was a little note that was taped on the side of the cash register to remind us what the hell was that? To remind us what the tax rate was, so we could calculate tax. And when the register was down, this happened on occasion, but usually it'd come right back up. We had a key where we could open the door manually, and we would make change. When somebody would order food, I'd total it up, tell them what their total was, and they'd give me whatever they had, and then I'd give them back their change. It's not rocket science. I need a computer to tell me how to do that. But yeah, I had to write the orders down. And we had one of the busiest nights that we ever had there. In fact, I think we stayed open about 2-3 hours late. Because it was weird. We didn't have any electricity. Oh, never mind. At one point we did get electricity, but for a long time we stayed open and it was still light outside, so people were coming in, and then around the time where it started to get dark, the power came back on. And at that point, just turned on the register and just started doing orders. Well, by the time it finally died, I guess we were one of the only strip malls for many, many, many miles that had power. Once the endless line of people wanting food finally ended, we were like the only fast food place for miles that was open. A restaurant of any kind, I believe. Once that was open, once we were done with that, and I had the rest of the staff working on prepping everything for the next day, because we pretty much went through all the prep for the next day, just staying open that late and continuing to serve food. I proceeded to key in all the orders that I did when the power was out, and wrote down on paper. I keyed them all into the system, so it would be, in the register on the Z-tape. And it was done. Ran the numbers, went about it as if it was a normal close, and we did as much business on that day as that store would do in a typical week. Also, I was able to, when my power came up, there was another store whose power didn't come up, and I had enough staff on hand that I was able to get in my car and drive to that other store and get all the food out of their walk-in and out of their freezer and get it transported, along with help from their manager, get it transported into my walk-in and freezer and arrange it enough that I could tell what was their store and what was my store. We marked all the boxes from their store with their store number on it. And we were able to get all that food moved. And then it was pretty late. It was probably nearly midnight by the time they got, because their manager stayed with the store. Sent his staff home, but stayed with the store. And when the power finally came back on, he came back and got his food, brought it back. And I got a call the next day from the owner of the franchise, the guy who owned probably about 50 franchises around Phoenix, Subway franchises, thanking me for saving for thinking on my feet and thinking outside the box, using my brain instead of policies and computers, and giving him the busiest, the highest profit day his store had ever had, that particular store, and also the saving all the food from another one of the stores that might have potentially gone bad. I miss being appreciated like that, but it just kills me. Jack in the Box can't manage a system as down. Man, people made change long before there were computerized point-of-sale systems. Why is everybody so damn dependent on their computers now? And it's not just fast food restaurants. It's everything. The world's too computer dependent. People aren't using their brains anymore. I mean, there was a big gas shortage a couple months ago because a pipeline got hacked. Why is a pipeline even a hackable thing? Why aren't there just manual valves with locks on them? Why? That's how most pipelines used to be. Those pipelines never got hacked. Anyway, I need to stop recording this. I'm frustrated and I'm hungry, and the majority of the night was really annoying at Bullocks. It's somebody a friend that came by, and she asked for a ride home. I gave her a ride home, and she wanted me to stay at her place and just kind of hang out and make me some food. God, how do you tactfully tell somebody that I don't like home-cooked food? I just don't. I mean, I've had some people give me home-cooked food, and it's been okay, but generally speaking, I'd rather eat a Whataburger or a Del Taco or a Super Burrito or Jack in the Box if they can actually take my money and, I can't make change. Keep the change, dude. I just want my food. Oh. So frustrating. So completely frustrating. Anyway. Yeah, I asked her, and the internet was worse than normal at Bullocks, and the internet's usually terrible at Bullocks. But, I tried to, I tried to upload a video that, one of the little vlogs, ones where the phone got stupid and cut it off. So it was like 2.5 minutes of video. In 5 hours, it still didn't manage to upload. It would freeze to the point where it would time out, and YouTube would make it restart again. I don't know, I'm so frustrated, so completely frustrated. But yeah, I asked her, it's like, well, do you have Wi-Fi? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm all out of data on my phone. I just want to be alone someplace where there's some good Wi-Fi. So I don't know how to tell her without hurting her feelings that I'm just absolutely not interested in your cooking at all, ever. I mean, to be honest, I can count on my thumbs how many of my friends I've actually liked their cooking. Corey, Pat. That's it. I know Corey went to culinary school. I think Pat went to culinary school as well. But anyway, I'm headed to another Jack in the Box. Hopefully their system isn't down. It's not a network thing. I'm still upset about my issues with US, the other credit card I was on the phone with. I only got a $7 service charge, but it just frustrates me that it just didn't, the payment just didn't, they couldn't configure automatic payments. And then I had another credit card I needed to call. I forget why I had to call them. Oh, because I misplaced the damn card again. Bad at misplacing stuff. I'm pretty convinced it didn't get stolen and get left somewhere. It's in a box or bag or underneath my car seat or fallen behind my bed or my dresser or something. But yeah, I called just to verify that there weren't any unauthorized charges, and there weren't. And to order a replacement card. And the CSR, who was extremely nice, had such a strong accent that I literally could not understand her. And how do you tactfully tell somebody, I can't understand your accent? It's not politically correct, it's racist. No, it's not racist. I can't understand her. Like when she finally was said that she'd send my card out to me, it honest to God sounded like it should get out to you in about 47 days. And I'm like, 47 days? Is it really going to take 47 days? And she goes, no, 47 days. Not so much like 47. And she meant between 4 and 7 days. But it didn't occur to you to use the words between 4 and 7. She just felt the need to use the words 4 to 7, but with her accent it sounded like 47. I don't know. Shit like that drives me nuts. And maybe the problem is that I have trouble interpreting stuff, I mean, today at Bullock's, and I swear it's been more of an issue at Bullock's than any karaoke bar I've ever worked at. So many slips tonight where I was just struggling so hard to read people's handwriting. Like, why is it so difficult to write legibly? Why? Why can't y'all do that? If you have to write slower to get it done, do it. Somebody else needs to read that. Do it legibly. Don't make it all squiggly and loopy. Just make text that looks like printed text so it can be read. Anyway. Days like this, I just hate everything about this world. Except for Bruno Mars. I don't know why I'm still running this. It's been almost 20 minutes. I just need to shut this off. I think I'm almost to Jack in the Box. I'm so flustered I can't even think of where things are right now. Annoying crowd, annoying singers, annoying internet, annoying Jack in the Box. Worst customer service ever.